There's a fighter on British shores who's ripping up the playbook when it comes to regular physicality.
Champion of the world, Nick the Working Bull.
Nick Ball is a different type of athlete. And though he stands at 5'2", he's capable of defeating men much, much larger. He's a killer in the ring.
There it is again. Oh.
And slowly becoming one of the most impressive champions in the game.
Big shots now, yeah. He doesn't want to know.
Let's take a look at some of his best wins. At only a handful of fights into his pro career, Nick Ball was a hungry but unproven prospect. However, what he lacked in fame, he made up for in raw ambition. Joe Ducker was a journeyman fighter, experienced enough in the trenches to test Ball's early ring craft.
Please welcome Joe Ducker.
The sort who survives cheap shots, pushes pace, and takes rounds. For Ball, this wasn't supposed to be a showcase. It was a proving ground. Could the 5'2" Liverpool native's speed and pressure overwhelm someone used to slogging through adversity? Well, we're about to get an answer. The vast majority of Nick Ball fights tend to begin with the question, how would he manage to navigate the height and reach disadvantage in front of him? This is a fighter who's an expert at leveling the playing field.
And he's letting Joe know he's there right away. Yeah. Soft, deadly strong. It's inside. And his attitude is, I'm going to set a pace. And if you can keep up, Nick goes to the body, out to the head, brilliant.
And by round 2, you could see he was already starting to find his rhythm and his range. Eventually, the ref needed to take a very good look at Joe Ducker and the sheer amount of punishment he was taking. All of a sudden, his height and reach meant nothing, and Nick Ball was moving downhill rapidly.
Nick's stopping running there now.
With the big shots. Referee's taking a close look at it.
Nick's going here. I think Nick knows. Nick knows.
Shot hang on. Ball up there.
When the ref raised Ball's hand, it was more than another win. It was a statement. The kid wasn't just rising through the ranks, he was beginning to dominate. The so-called journeyman test got blown away by the kind of fire only true contenders bring. Nick Ball announced himself loud and early. Michael Isaac Carrero came into this bout as a tougher early career opponent, someone with enough experience to know how to weather storms, take punches, and force you to fight on your feet. For Ball, this fight represented the next step up. Pressure, layers, and a chance to prove his power wasn't just flashy, it was real. The spotlight wasn't bright yet, but Ball's eyes were focused.
Nick Ball. Isaac Carrero.
Could he convert speed into damage? Could he prove his nickname, the Wrecking Ball, wasn't just height?
Because we're not in the ring now. Chance for career, that's it.
Well, the early signs from Ball were excellent.
Yeah, definitely. The sparring in the gym is great. Oh, what a shot.
And his opponent was slowly realizing that violent things sometimes come in small packages.
It's one of them with the legs went. That's what I'm saying, he just keeps working. If you haven't...
Eventually, the onslaught reached a totally different level.
And it's just all invaluable experience.
And Ball was awarded yet another finish. a suitably violent continuation of his wrecking ball ways.
There it is again. Oh, a nice right hand as well. Oh, he's landing some big shots now, yeah.
He doesn't want to know.
The answers came quickly this time around.
He didn't like the way
Carrera wasn't just outboxed, he was outpowered, outpaced, and overwhelmed. Ball didn't just win, he demolished. That early spark grew into a blaze, and the boxing world had its first glimpse at something dangerous.
Nick Ball!
Hey, let's get a quick selfie.
Ball's next opponent, Isaac Lowe, was no scrub. A seasoned featherweight contender, skilled in orthodox boxing with solid experience. He was the kind of fighter many young prospects trip over. For Ball, this was his first real test against a credible name in the division. Someone who could punish mistakes, make you pay for overeagerness, and drag a fight into deep water if you weren't sharp.
From there.
Been looking forward to this one.
The pressure was on. Time to prove you belong. The question? Whether Nick Ball was up to the task.
Isaac Lowe looking to get busy with Nick Ball. It's a good shot by Ball.
We only have limited footage to show you of this fight, but after scoring a knockdown in round 2,
Ball lands another one.
Ball went to work and brutally dispatched of his opponent in round 6. Lowe never got comfortable. What looked like a technical test turned into a finishing show. The kid's reach was short, but his fight IQ, his speed, and timing were strong. There's a chance this guy eventually finds himself in the ring with the great Naoya Inoue. How do you see that fight playing out? Let us know in the comments below. We have another short clip coming next, but man, was it a nice first round KO. Jesus Ramirez Rubio came into the ring with a respectable record. Hungry and experienced, a boxer who believed in volume, aggression, and landing enough to wear you down. For Ball, facing a hitter like Rubio was a firewall test. Could his speed and awkwardness survive steady pressure? Could he avoid being grounded by brute strength and stay mobile under fire? If Ball answered yes, he wouldn't just earn a win, he'd earn respect. Things were already in total disaster mode for Rubio in the opening round. Ball was very clearly already comfortable in there, knowing he could find his opponent's chin with ease. Any bets on Ball securing the first round KO were cashed in pretty quickly after this. He simply had way too much speed, power, technique, and ferocity in there. Ball was just on a different level, and he was ready to move on to a bigger challenge. Rubio didn't land nearly enough to slow down the wrecking train. Ball moved, fired, and demolished. Quick, clean, ruthless. Yet another slice of proof that this kid was well on his way to divisional greatness. Ladumo Lamati arrived as a seasoned veteran with a record fighters believe comes with danger. Someone with grit, durability, and no small amount of confidence. For Ball, this was more than a step up. It was a war test. Could the little 5'2" dynamite handle raw experience and avoid everything Lamati brought to the table? Strength, pressure, veteran savvy? This fight had the feel of a turning point. Either Ball proves himself, where he learns just how hard learning curves can hit.
Let's get ready to rumble!
From the opening bell onwards, Ball was very clearly looking to go out there and make a statement, chasing down his opponent with all the confidence in the world in his ability to score the knockout blow. Ball was very clearly on point tonight, knowing he had his opponent hurt on several occasions. And in the championship rounds, it all came crashing down on Lamati. Blow after blow, delivered with the type of elite precision that would eventually lead Ball to championship belts. Eventually, it all became too much for him to take. Ball moved in for the kill, securing the finish in the dying embers of the fight.
Ball looking to give himself a little bit of space as delivered on what he's continue to put on the pressure, and the towel comes in from the Lamati corner.
12th round knockout, and it came against perhaps the toughest opponent of his career. Lamati rocked, staggered, and finally surrendered. The veteran fighter who should have been the anchor became another victim of Ball's relentless pace. This wasn't luck, it was pure skill, power, ring craft, and a mental edge. The Wrecking Ball just shattered another name on his path to the top. Ronnie Rios is a wiry, experienced former world title challenger with more miles than many give credit for. He had knockdowns, comebacks, wars, and he knew how to survive.
But they know of each other.
For Ball, facing Rios meant proving his world title medal wasn't just hype. Could he deal with a veteran who'd seen it all? Could he land clean under pressure, keep composure, and avoid getting lost in the veteran's traps?
Nicky Ball.
With a passionate and supportive Liverpool crowd in front of him, there was a realistic level of pressure on Ball to show up and put on a display of excellence for them.
Off jab and you can keep your distance, then Nick Ball is going to get to you at some stage. Opponents don't realise Ball has got a terrific jab as well, and he delivers it with...
Trying to claim something back in this round.
Opponent, there it is there, look, right on cue, and again, whips a couple. See how tough Rios is here. Look at that brilliant at the ball in his work. Will not only work at his own pace, but look at the...
By the middle rounds, this was proving to be a grueling affair. In other words, the crowd were certainly getting their money's worth.
And again, these are cracking shots from Ball. Oh, fantastic.
Ball was still the one who had by far and away the most impressive offensive moments.
Ball is irrepressible. Ball seems unstoppable. Ball fighting like this seems desperate.
This is when he's running, but when he actually lets it down, he's got...
It's madness by way of an approach. Rios really takes the biscuit for this. But he's...
When round 10 came, Ball was feeling confident enough to well and truly step on the gas, lighting up the arena with a finishing sequence that was among his finest to date.
With Nicky Ball. Pouring on the pressure. Rios is out of the way.
This guy is very clearly a human battering ram, a force of nature that nobody has managed to stop yet. When the towel dropped, the verdict was clear. Ball didn't just defend his belt, he imposed his will. Rios folded under pressure, down 3 times before surrender. Nick Ball didn't just survive the storm, he became the storm.
It's all over, and Nicky Ball has retained his world title here.
WBA featherweight, the Wrecking Ball.
Irish fighter TJ Doheny is a cagey veteran southpaw. a dangerous counterpuncher, and a name with championship aspirations of his own. At 38 and with miles on his legs, many wrote him off. But in boxing, experience and ring generalship can be a great equalizer. For Ball, this fight was about proving consistency, endurance, and power late deep into a grueling scrap. Could he break a seasoned slugger? Could his speed still land? When the rounds piled up and the pressure mounted, this fight was a brawl, but a measured and technical brawl that exploded in bursts. Doheny had been in there with some of the best fighters around, including the great Naoya Inoue. The question now was, how would he fare against Ball? Ball is the type of boxer who has the gas tank for those long fights, and so seeing him gradually up his pace and tempo as he figured Doheny out was a real joy to behold.
Really good shots, two sharp shots, just staggered the legs. Doheny felt those. Finn can do different things tonight, but he's done it really well. Yeah, he's starting to get the success again here in the ninth.
Eventually, the sheer volume of his shots became too much for TJ to handle.
Sends the finish, and Michael Alexander's right punch coming Doheny's way. Can't get out of the way of it. Michael Alexander poised. Doheny in his own corner. No way he can keep Paul off. He's absolutely relentless. Incredible.
And eventually, Team Doheny would be left with a very difficult but very necessary decision.
I think that's it. Hector Bermudez has called it off.
Ball didn't just outlast him, he broke him. Round after round, pressure built, shots landed, and when the ref raised his hand, the room knew. Age and experience met youth and fury, and that youth and fury got its hands raised. A brutal, controlled demolition that confirmed Ball's reign is no fluke. Sam Goodman came in undefeated, strong, youthful, with ambition, size, and a full camp behind him.
Look to go to work. 10 seconds left in the round. That's a big...
For Nick Ball, this was the kind of test every champion must face. A hungry contender desperate to make a name. Height and youth weren't in Ball's favor, but momentum, reputation, and that wrecking power were. Could he outsmart size? Outpace ambition? Could he do what so many said was impossible? Keep a title while facing a perfect record?
Number 26 pounds.
This was a different level of challenge, it seemed. Goodman was a guy who was always going to prove tricky for Ball. Even Nick himself.
Protect yourself. This area and up will be considered. Let's go to work.
Battle of the unbeatens here. Title. Ruben Olivares, Alexis Arguello. Nick Ball whips those right hands in like that.
Later admitted he wasn't fully happy with his performance. That didn't mean there weren't bright spots, but Ball was definitely made to work for his moments in this bout.
Yeah, good right hand there. Good ball.
Don't load us.
Ball. Lovely from Ball.
Took the 1-2.
Goodman has brought the fight in his running.
It did take 12 rounds to decide it,
In his favor,
but Nick Ball came away with yet another defense of his title.
Heads coming in. That finish, amazing.
Furthering his growth into a pound-for-pound talent.
And still, WBA, the Wrecking Ball.
Goodman tried everything, but Ball never let the pressure slip. 12 rounds, constant aggression, and controlled dominance. The judges saw what millions already knew. The WBA featherweight champion belongs to Nick Ball. The Wrecking Ball still rolls, and nothing in his path looks safe. But what's your opinion on this promising young champion? And do you think he can make it all the way to the top of the sport?
With Nicky Ball. Toiling on the
Let us know in the comments below.